Welcome to the Justice League where the truth meets power. They gathered like vultures, circling the wealth of a dying man. But in the shadows, a quiet storm was brewing, ready to break the silence of decades. This is the story of Maria, the woman they overlooked, and the truth that shattered their world. Before we start the story, comment below where in the world you are watching from today, and if you like the story, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss future stories like this one. For 22 years, Maria moved through the grand Callahan estate like a ghost. Her hands polished silver, her footsteps were silent on Persian rugs. She was the help, the background noise, invisible to the family who lived in the light. Her simple blouse, her worn shoes. They spoke of a life dedicated to service. She held her small handbag, a tiny anchor in a room filled with opulence and expectation. No one truly saw her. Mr. Callahan, the Titan, was gone. His family descended upon the mansion, a flurry of expensive fabrics and hushed, greedy whispers. The air crackled with anticipation, thick with the scent of old money and entitlement. Maria wasn't invited, yet she stood there, a silent sentinel. Eyes darted towards her, sharp with suspicion and disdain. Whispers followed her like shadows. "Why is she here?" One voice hissed, dripping with contempt. Another chuckled, a cruel, brittle sound. "Maybe she thinks she's getting the silverware." Their smirks were open, unapologetic. The family lawyer, Mr. Harris, a man as rigid as the law itself, cleared his throat. The room fell silent, save for the rustle of silk and the beating of anxious hearts. The moment of truth had arrived. He began reading, his voice dry and formal, the expected names, the familiar assets. "To my daughter Claire, I leave the beach house." A satisfied nod. "To my son Edward, the stock portfolio." A triumphant smile. "Trust funds for the grandchildren, jewels for the nieces." The room buzzed with quiet triumph, calculations already dancing in their eyes. It was all going according to their plan. Then, Mr. Harris paused. A long, agonizing silence stretched, thick with unspoken tension. He adjusted his thick glasses, his gaze steady, unwavering. The atmosphere shifted, a palpable change in the air. He spoke slowly, deliberately. "To Maria Delgado." The name hung in the air, a foreign sound in that room of Callahan's. Heads snapped up, scoffs rippled through the crowd. Claire leaned forward, her voice a low, venomous whisper. "Oh, here we go." "To Maria Delgado," the lawyer repeated, his voice gaining strength. "I leave the house, the land it stands on, and a personal letter enclosed separately." The words landed like a bomb. The room froze, then erupted in gasps. "The what?" Edward roared, leaping from his seat, his face contorted in disbelief. "That has to be a mistake." Mr. Harris held up a hand, a gesture of calm authority against the rising tide of fury. "Please let me finish." The family stared, stunned, their faces a mask of confusion, anger, and utter humiliation. Claire rose, her voice trembling with outrage. "She's the maid. She doesn't even belong in this room." The accusation hung heavy, laced with generations of privilege. Mr. Harris met her gaze, his eyes holding a quiet understanding. Mr. Callahan thought differently. He picked up a smaller envelope, the personal letter. The room held its breath. He began to read Mr. Callahan's own words, handwritten, filled with a depth of feeling they had never known. Maria, the letter began, a tender address that silenced the room. You were there for me, not because of money, not out of obligation, but out of kindness. When I was sick and no one visited, you brought soup and sat with me. When my own children only called when they wanted something, you reminded me what dignity felt like. You became my true family. The lawyer's voice was steady, but the words resonated with profound emotion. This home was kept warm because of you, and now it belongs to you. Silence descended, heavy and absolute. There was nothing left to say, no argument left to make. The family sat stunned, their faces pale, their entitlement stripped bare. Maria didn't gloat, didn't offer a triumphant look. She simply closed her eyes, a single tear tracing a path down her cheek. She took a deep, shuddering breath, perhaps the first truly free breath in years. Someone had seen her. Someone had valued her heart above all else. She turned, her simple shoes carrying her towards the door. She walked out of that room not as the woman who cleaned the floors, but as the woman who owned them, her quiet dignity, a legacy far richer than any inheritance. Share your feelings about Maria's quiet strength in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up if you believe kindness is the greatest wealth, and subscribe to our channel. Turn on the bell icon so you never miss another powerful story that reminds us where true value lies.